MPs of Eastern Partnership and EU countries gathered in Ukraine for a three-day session to discuss issues that will be presented in an upcoming summit in Brussels. This is the first time that the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly has been held in Ukraine. UATV has more.
Three important resolutions have been considered during the three-day Parliamentary Assembly of the Eastern Partnership. The first relates to the human rights violations in the temporary occupied territories of Donbass and Crimea. Artem Chigoz and Ilmy Umarov, who were recently released from prison in Russian-occupied territory, delivered a stirring speech at the Assembly.
It was a touching moment, which really increased again the dedication to work on improvement of the human rights situation in Crimea, but also in the other regions.
Time was also devoted to the matter of cybersecurity, information warfare, and other challenges of hybrid war. Representatives dedicated a separate resolution to these issues.
The Bureau took the decision yesterday that the Assembly is encouraging all the parties, members of our Assembly, in combating these phenomena, in combating anti-European propaganda, and to apply all the necessary measures in ensuring the state security and ensuring the strategic path of our countries.
One conclusion of the Assembly is that the European Parliament is in favor of the creation of the Eastern Partnership Plus model for Moldova, Georgia, and Ukraine. According to a member of the European Parliament, these countries have made progress towards implementation of reforms aimed at EU integration. This opens up new prospects for joining the Customs and Energy Union of the EU, as well as the Schengen zone. Also, it will be a step towards ending cellular roaming charges.
This is a new platform that will allow three countries to consolidate their efforts, their dialogue with the European Union, and like that, to consolidate their European path.
A draft resolution on the establishment of a dedicated fund for Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova was also adopted at the session. It will help attract private and public investments in the economy of these countries.
UATV's Vivica Williams had an opportunity to speak with Bogdan Ferenc from the Secretariat of the Euronest Annual Interparliamentary Forum. He shared his analysis of the results and possible ramifications of this annual meeting. One topic discussed was the issue of freedom of media. Here's an excerpt from that interview, which you can find in full on YouTube.
All right. And so what were some of the resolutions or things made there that regarding this issue? I mean, it must have been very hard to come to some type of realistic understandings between countries that have different levels of freedom of media.
Yeah, that's why it was important to find some common solutions in the implementing some common approaches. Mm-hmm. What can be done, especially in the context of democratization of media, of making some, reforming to the more independence possibilities for the media. Mm-hmm. And of course, I think the discussion was also on the cybersecurity. Right. You know, this topic is very important. Absolutely. And very sensitive for different countries. Yes.